Hey loves! Today we're going to be answering the top 5 questions we get asked all the time. So let's jump right in. Question number 1, what wick do we use?
This is by far our most asked question, and we use a couple different wicks depending on the vessel. So for the most part, we use these 2 wicks. This is the Ultimate Wood Wick 0.04 from Makesy, and this is in our 12-ounce vessel. And then for our 8-ounce vessels, we use the Whisper Single Ply Wick 0.03, also from Makesy.
The wicks that we've chosen are based on a lot of different factors. It's going to take into consideration the vessel we use, the size of that vessel, the wax temperature, the fragrance oils that we blend and use in each different candle. So even though this is our starting point and that we're giving you that information, it does not mean that those will ultimately work for your candles. The main thing that you have to do is test every wick in every candle. Because even though these may start off and they may work in one of your fragrance oils, does not mean that they work in all. So the moral of the story is test, then test again. Question number 2. Where do we get our vessels and room spray bottles from? The short and sweet answer is most of our vessels and room spray bottles come from Makesy. Now we have started to diversify and we have looked at a few different companies for some of the supplies that we get, as well as looking to add in different products. So we will also use Amazon, Wholesale Supplies, Candle Science, Midwest Fragrance Company. As we continue to add new product lines, then we will also be looking at other companies and seeing who has the best product for what we want to add in. And we'll let you know when we have chosen some of those different companies.
Our third most asked question is, how do you pick a good pop-up market?
My best advice is to go as a customer. If you go to a pop-up market or a craft fair and you are a customer and you see that they're not well attended, or the target audience that you are trying to reach is not attending that market, then that's not a market worth vending at, in my opinion. And you can go, a few different times on a few different days if it's hosted on different days of the week, and check out the traffic that goes there. But if you're there as a customer and you already see that everyone there is only at the food trucks, then there's not really a reason to go sell a candle product there. If you see people are there and they don't have any bags, they're just there because it's something to do on a weekend and somewhere to hang out, then that's not probably the place that you want to start vending it. When we do our markets, the ones that you have seen us do on our channel, we've gone about 2 hours away, because there are markets that are hosted in our area, but they're not attended by people who are buying product. For most part, the largest market that's held around here, mostly people going for the food items that are there, or to socialize.
Yeah, get out and do something.
Yeah, there's something to walk around and go see. We've gone multiple times and you never see anyone really leaving with anything. So it's probably not worth the investment to vend at somewhere where you as a customer can see that no one's leaving with any products every time that they go.
You can also check out the market's social media pages to see how well they promote their markets, if people are engaging with their social media. A lot of the times they'll have videos from the markets that they've done in the past, so you can see kind of the crowd and how many people are there. You can also see if vendor slots are, constantly being sold out. That's a pretty good indicator that it's a good market and that vendors are successful there.
So those are the kind of considerations that, top of my head that I can think of. And again, don't be afraid to travel. If you see a market that is going to be worth it, but it's an hour or so away, that's when your time is used wisely so that you are getting to that target market.
Our fourth most asked question is, how much does it cost to start a candle business?
The truth is, it depends on how big or how small you want to start. We have a video which we'll link where we talk a little more in depth about the actual items that you need to start the business, and then how you can scale it up from there. So the short and sweet answer, anywhere from $500 to a couple $1,000, and you can start the business. In all actuality, you could start it with $100. It just depends on really how big you want to go. You can start with some items on Amazon. As long as you're testing the products and making sure that they're safe and able to be used, to be sold to people, then, I mean, you can start with that and use free social media and just grow from there. So the barrier to entry is really the knowledge that you gain and how you utilize that to make your product safe and usable. And if it's something that works for the aesthetic that you're going for, then, and it will help you get started, then go for it. But if you're looking to launch and have cohesive branding, your website, packaging, inventory, then you're looking closer to $1,500 to $2,500.
Even more than that, probably.
Yeah, because that's the start. That doesn't necessarily mean what you're going to need to maintain that throughout the months.
So you'll want to budget wisely and grow at a pace that is comfortable for you.
Question number 5. What's the best advice that we can give on growing a candle business? Consistency. So showing up, whether it's posting on your social media, showing up at markets, or engaging with your audience. The key is staying consistent.
We'd also say to not get discouraged, because every business is going to have its ups and downs, but you just have to persevere and keep going.
Focus on building a community and not just selling a product. You want your customers to feel connected to your brand, not just going there to buy an item.
And ultimately, you never want to stop learning. Trends will change, your customers' preferences will evolve, and the best businesses are always going to adapt.
All right, so that's a wrap on our top 5 most asked questions. We have videos that go into more depth on these topics, and we'll link them down in the description box.
And if you found this video helpful, drop a comment down below with your biggest takeaway. And if you have any more questions for us, feel free to drop them in the comments section, because we just might make a part 2.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss one of our videos.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye, loves. Never stop, never stopping. Oh, thanks, Bob.
Oh, yeah. Patrick. Question number 2.
Try saying that 3 times fast.